Oh yeah, right. I've had another email, letter, call it what you will, from a subscriber. This is from a chap called Paul from Farnworth, Greater Manchester. Here we go, it's about carrots. So, dear Stuart, he's actually put a W in Stuart, which is great because no one ever spells my name right. It's Stuart with a W. Do you know, like when you go places and people say, "What's your name, mate?" And I go, and then because they're going to write it down, so to help them get the right spelling, I go, Stuart with a W. They always say to me, "What, like Jackie?" And I no, like Stuart. Anyhow, dear Stuart with a W. I have been growing carrots for the first time this year. Well done, Paul, nice one. And out of curiosity, I pulled a few up the other day to see how they are getting on. Some of them were funny shaped. In fact, one looked like two legs with a little willy hanging down from the top of the legs. Oh dear. Please could you tell me if the carrot that has a little willy on it is safe to eat? And how has this happened? If you could tell me how it has happened, I can stop it happening again, because my wife has been teasing me about the size of what the carrot has compared to what I have. Many thanks, Paul from Farnworth. Well, is this a wind-up? Is this genuine? Right, anyhow, well, Paul, thanks for your email. I'm seriously considering taking down my email address from my About This Channel page here on YouTube. Oh my word. Right, thanks for your email though, Paul. I will try and help you best I can. And secondly, even more of a thank you for not adding a photograph of either the little willy that's your carrot with legs has, or a photograph of your, well, let's not go there. Right, so, right, what we call this, there's a couple of things it's known as. Well, it's a type of deformity, and some people call it forking, when the carrot forks and splits, if you will. And posher people that went to a better school than what I did might call it bifurcating. When something bifurcates, it's just a posh way of saying it's split in two. A bit like trouser legs, a bit like legs, like Paul says his carrot looks like. So, Paul from Farnworth. What's caused it? I would say that there are a couple of different things actually that can cause it, but I'm not going to start boring your head off about nematodes and stuff like that. The main reason, and I'd put good money on this, the main reason I would say is your soil structure. Carrots don't like growing in hard, compacted clay soil, because they have to kind of push really hard, and that's when you're going to start to get through the soil, and when they do that, you're going to start getting deformities. Also, if your soil's really stony, your carrot root as it's growing, if my fist is a stone, as the root's going, it might hit a stone and go, oh no, and relax and just split to go around that stone that's in your soil. So, a good way of stopping it from happening again, because there's not an awful lot you can do this year while the carrots are in the ground going, but a good way of stopping it happening next year or next time you grow carrots is soil cultivation. Work your soil, dig it all over, take out as many stones as you can find, add a bit of sand to help it become nice and loose and light, and it'll help drainage as well. And then there's, you know, your carrot seedlings as they're going will find it quite easy to force their way down into that sand. What else? Yeah, feed. There's things we can do with carrot feed. Right, you might have noticed on the back of a fertiliser, if you've ever bought a fertiliser, whether it's an organic or an inorganic, you might see three little letters, NPK. N stands for nitrogen, which is mainly for leaf growth, the green leaves of a plant. So if you're going things like lettuces, a high nitrogen feed is quite good. P stands for phosphorus, which is good for root growth. So for carrots, we like phosphorus. And the K stands for potassium. Always confuses me a bit that, because potassium doesn't start with K, but K stands for potassium. It's a science thing, I don't quite understand it. So if you try and get a feed, some sort of fertiliser, whether it's a natural one, or, I mean, for example, a good, we call it organic if you will, fertiliser that's got lots of phosphorus in, is bone meal. And that's quite easy to find in gardening type shops or places like Wilkinson's. It's quite easy to find on its own in a little cardboard box, a bone meal. But bear in mind, bone meal is also quite good for providing nitrogen. So what you might get is loads of top leaf growth on your carrots, but it's the roots we want with a carrot. We don't grow a carrot for its leaves, we grow it for its roots. So if you cultivate your soil well, take out the stones. If you've got quite a clayey soil, mix in as some really good, well rotted compost. Just sprung to mind, another thing that's quite high in phosphorus, or P out of NPK, is well rotted animal manure, but well rotted. If it's quite fresh, i.e. it still smells a bit like poo, it's going to be quite high in nitrogen. And hopefully I've explained just now why we don't want too much nitrogen, we want the phosphorus. But well rotted manure shouldn't really smell like poo. It's actually got quite a pleasant smell, believe it or not. I won't be offended if you don't trust me enough to test that theory out. So I think that's about it, Paul from Farnworth. Thanks for your email. I just had to think what kind of other emails that this might open the door to. Oh, we'll send an email to him because he reads out emails about carrots that have legs and little willies and... Oh, please. So, the rest of you, thanks very much for watching. I hope this helps. Nice one. See you later. Paul, I nearly forgot. Yes, you can eat a deformed, forked carrot that looks like it's got two legs and a little willy sticking through the middle. Unless, I suppose, you're like a really hardcore vegetarian and don't want to eat anything that looks like body parts, but yeah, you're perfectly fine. Let's just say I've eaten loads of homegrown carrots that are a bit twisted or bent or have legs, and it hasn't affected me at all, really. So you should be alright, Paul. Cheers, mate. Please subscribe for more free gardening related videos.